Hi, folks. Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. You know me. I'm not a, oh my God, this guy is falling alarmist. But I felt like we needed to at least address this from Natural News, the world's top news source on natural health, www.naturalnews.com. They're reporting this headline: sickening. Major food corporations use tissue from aborted babies to manufacture flavor additives in processed foods. Wednesday, April 15th, by Ethan A. Huff, staff writer. Now, the headline is actually a tad bit misleading, I think intentionally so, and I would kind of slap their hand for using the headline in this way, because this does make you think that they're putting aborted babies in food to flavor food. Major food corporations use tissue from aborted babies to manufacture flavor additives in processed foods. It makes you think they are actually putting baby tissue in foods to affect the flavor. That's not exactly what's happening. But nonetheless, every time you purchase mass-processed food, quote-unquote, from Kraft, PepsiCo, or Nestle, you're choosing, whether you realize it or not, to feed your family genetically engineered poisons and chemical additives, but also various flavoring agents manufactured using the tissue of aborted babies. And this is the kind of the key of the whole thing. These flavoring agents are manufactured using tissues of aborted babies. The flavoring agents themselves do not have aborted babies in them. So it's being used to manufacture the flavorings. It's not actually in the food. So we're not quite here yet.
You tell everybody. Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them Soylent Green is people! We gotta stop them somehow!
So we're not quite there yet, thankfully. But we're fast approaching it. And the fact of the matter is that this company, based out of California, known as Soylent, is in the business of using aborted embryonic cells to test fake flavoring chemicals. Now again, it's using aborted embryonic cells to test fake flavoring chemicals. It's not putting aborted babies in food. It's using the cells from aborted babies to test fake flavoring chemicals. Then those flavoring chemicals are added to things like soft drinks, candies, cookies. Now, it's known as the HEK 293, the aborted human fetal cell line used by Soylent is manipulated to evaluate how the human palate will react to synthetic flavors used in the production of processed foods. Since most processed foods in the market today are hardly food at all and typically lack any real flavor, companies like Soylent are hired to develop artificial ones, which are often deceptively labeled as natural flavors to make them taste like real food. So, in some cases, they are actually made of the cell tissue of unborn babies that were aborted. And that is what they're using to test these chemicals. It's pretty horrific. And they are from electively aborted babies, quote unquote. So we're not quite yet at Soylent Green is people status. At least they're not openly telling us that Soylent Green is people. But we are at the status where we're using taste receptors from aborted human babies to see if the GMO artificial food will taste good to the drones. At least they love us. At least they care about us, because they want our GMO to taste good. They want us to have good taste as we die. So, you know, they obviously love us. They obviously care about us. And, of course, they obviously love us because we're only using the tissue from electively aborted babies. The ones that they unelectively abort, well, they're not using that in this way yet. Obviously, it is sickening. It's another reason for you to take heed my suggestion to eat locally, to eat organically as much as is possible. You almost have to avoid all of the inner aisles when you go to the grocery store, and hopefully you go to a farmer's market or something local. But if you do have to go to a big grocery store, you almost have to stay around the edges and just get the fresh stuff and try to get organic, and again, try to get as local as possible. Stay away from the processed foods. And you know, I'm sorry to a lot of my vegetarian and vegan friends, the stuff that you eat is so, because I was eating it, it's so heavily processed. Oh, but it's not got any meat, but it's so heavily processed. It just seems ridiculous to me. Why don't we just eat natural fruits and vegetables if we're going to be vegan, instead of a bunch of fake bacon and fake steak and fake chicken and fake shrimp and fake fish? It's just more chemicals, and it's probably worse for you than having a piece of fish, to be frank with you. But at any rate, major food corporations are using tissue from electively aborted babies to taste test on human taste receptors their GMO garbage food, so that at least you can have a nice taste in your mouth when you die from ingesting their foods. Eat locally, eat organically, say no to GMO, say no to big food, say no to big pharma, say no to Monsanto. Unwind your mind, unindoctrinate yourself. And Soylent Green is not people yet, at least officially, but it's uncomfortably close. Unwind your mind, unindoctrinate yourself. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower.